Hello.
Everyone, and welcome to Take Two Radio. I'm Pam, your host, and with me tonight as my co-host is my good friend David. Hello, David.
Hi, Pam. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing really well. Very excited for our guest. How about you?
I am too.
Good. Tonight we welcome actor and model Robert Scott Wilson. He can be seen on The Price is Right and on All My Children as Pete Cortlandt, or as his mama would say, PD. Welcome, Rob.
Hey, what's up, guys? How are you?
We're doing good. How are you doing?
I'm great. Just staying busy.
Yeah. Needless to say. How do you handle doing both shows?
You know what? It's been a blessing so far. So it's been working out, being on the East Coast filming All My Children. It's been, an absolute journey, and it's been really, really fun and tedious work. And then when I go back to L.A., I'll be working with the people over at Price is Right again.
Well, you must have, tons and tons of frequent flyer miles, I would imagine.
It's getting there.
Yeah. Pretty soon you won't have to pay for any tickets if you have to do it in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you a good flyer?
What's that?
Are you a good flyer?
Yeah, I don't mind. I try to get some work done while I can up there, but I have a hard time with falling asleep on planes, to be honest with you. I can't do it.
Oh, well, at least you're good with flying. I'm not good with flying at all, although I do it, but the person next to me will get, fingernails in their hand if we hit turbulence.
Oh, my God. Well, hopefully, we look to each other. I'll wear, some gloves.
Well, at least you've been forewarned.
Yeah, thanks for the heads up.
You're welcome. Now, how did you get started in modeling and acting?
You know what? I started working in the industry back in 2008. There was a couple films that were being shot in Boston, and I'm originally from Massachusetts, so it worked out, and pretty much just went to a couple auditions, and I got, was blessed enough to get a couple small roles on each of them, ironically, right off the bat, and it really kind of just made me get bit by the acting bug, and then I just kind of pushed it from there.
Oh, so you didn't always want to be an actor?
You know what? I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I mean, when I was younger, I was kind of, I just had intentions of going to college and kind of going about the route like that. I was really into business and things like that. And, until I kind of saw it firsthand and kind of lived a few moments in the industry, I never knew really anything about it. Nobody from where I'm from really approached that industry, It's so foreign to us. But, once I started, that was pretty much it for me.
Yeah. Now that's what you'll be doing for a lifetime, right?
Yeah, that's it. This is the one.
Well, that's a good thing. What type of modeling have you done?
Well, I mean, I've kind of done everything across the board. I mean, right now I had a couple campaigns that I did with, for different underwear campaigns and things like that. In addition, I mean, I've done it across the board, T-shirts, jean companies. I've done fashion shows for Levi's and things like that. Really just a bunch of different print.
Were you on runways then?
Was I on runways? I've done that, yeah. We did, the last one I did was back in last June. We went to Vegas for the Levi's fashion show. That was the last time I did anything like runway-wise. But being in Los Angeles, there's a lot less runway-style modeling, more of like a print and, clothing-owned companies that I'll be working for rather than actual like runway fashion shows. That's more of a New York thing.
Now, how did you learn how to model? I mean, did somebody teach you how to do it once you got into it, or did you take any type of classes or anything?
No, not really. I mean, just being in front of the camera, doing a couple photo shoots here and there, you just get a little bit, just like doing anything else, just getting more comfortable with being in front of the camera and things like that. But, as an actor, that's just something I do on the side pretty much. It helped me as a new actor and, a young actor in Los Angeles to help me pay my bills. So having like a print agency was really nice to have, submitting me on new jobs and things like that while I pursued, my actual craft.
Yeah, this way you didn't have to wait any tables.
Yeah. And not to say I didn't have to take the sideline jobs along the way. I did what I needed to do, but, modeling kind of helped me out with that side of the
Right. Now, you won the spot on The Price is Right, which says a lot for you, as I would imagine there was a ton of guys that went out for that audition. What did you have to do for the audition?
Well, you can actually see the entire escapades, I'd like to call them. I mean, we did all types of things. They shot 5 webisodes, show the actual process of it. So we did all kinds of crazy stuff, replicating what the fans do when they get called up to the stage and things like that. Just funny stuff, fun stuff, just to show personality. And, we were being ourselves, but we were kind of acting the role as well. So it was kind of crazy, but it was fun.
We can see that on YouTube?
Yeah, you can go actually on the Price is Right website, and they'll actually show highlights of the male model competition. And I was kind of
wow.
Yeah, you can watch the whole thing in there. When it narrowed down to, there were tons and tons of people, I mean, it was narrowed down to 26 of us when the actual little webisode started, which I was kind of hesitant about because I've never been in front of a couple of judges before, which now are my good friends, but it was a little awkward, to say the least. But it was fun at the end. After, once you get down to, the top 10 or whatever, then I really wanted to win, so I'm really glad it worked out.
And so are a lot of other people because we enjoy watching you on there. Now, what is it like working with Drew Carey? It has to be a lot of fun, I would imagine.
It's the best. I mean, it's totally not work. It's pretty much like he says to a lot of people, it's just a place we got to be at a certain time because that's really all it is. I mean, we're having fun. We're doing something that only a lot of people wish they could do. And Drew's so good at what he does. He's a great host, and I feel I'm very blessed just to be a part of it.
Oh, most definitely. He's one of my favorite comics, that's for sure, and I just love watching him on there. Now, have you ever met Daniel Goddard from The Young and the Restless? Because he goes on there sometimes, too.
No, I haven't met him, actually, but I've heard that he's been on the show quite a few times and, made his appearances on there, and, I'm glad to share the spot with him.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's only gorgeous people on there, so you're in good company.
Oh, man, thank you.
You're welcome. Now, what is your workout regimen?
My workout regimen, well, I mean, up until literally these past few weeks being on location, I'm in a hotel, so, I mean, we have access to fitness rooms and things like that, but, I mean, I stay in the gym at least 5 days a week when I'm normally at home in L.A., and I try to eat as clean as I can, but out here being on the road and having the crazy hours we do working a soap opera, it makes it a little more difficult, but, I'll still able to get down there, do some weight training, some cardio, and I do try to eat as much as I can.
So you eat healthy most of the time? You have a cheat day?
You know what? I did have a cheat day, but while I've been working on the soap, I feel like every day has its moments of cheats. We have a good production company that allows us to, they bring out awesome catering service, so the fact that, we're fed as well as we are, it's hard not to turn it down, because in my normal life, I wouldn't be eating chocolate cake once or twice every day.
Yeah.
And you're working 12 hours, it's like, okay, I'm going to break down and just eat this brownie. Why not?
Yeah.
You're working enough money you normally wouldn't.
Well, do it while you're young because as you get older, it's harder to keep the pounds off when you eat that cake once or twice a day.
Yeah, it sure is.
It's difficult now, too, so I'm working on it.
Yeah. Well, tell us about how you got the part of Pete Cortlandt.
I got the part when my manager sent me the notice that they wanted me to audition for it. She had submitted me, and I pretty much put myself on tape when I was in L.A., in between my other jobs, and, I got a response from casting, and so they wanted to meet with me, but since I was in L.A., they wanted to get me on a Skype session, which I've never done before, so I sat down and Skyped with Allison Goodman, who was the casting director for All My Children and One Life to Live, and it went really well. I read about 4 more times for the role. It was disguised as a different character name. They didn't let me know it was actually Pete Cortlandt, but they just put a fictitious name on there. It was for the role of Pete, just, they wanted to keep it under wraps in case anything had leaked out that Pete Cortlandt was in the storyline and whatnot.
Right.
And, long story short, after I did my Skype interview and read about 4 more times and kind of got to know her and speak to them, they played it for producers, and I got called out to New York about 2-3 days later.
Wow, that's wonderful. You're doing such a phenomenal job on there. Everybody loves you as Pete Cortlandt.
Oh, yes, it means a lot.
Yes,
thank you.
You're welcome. And to be one of the core characters' children, I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's, like I said, an absolute blessing. I'm really, really happy to be a part of it. It's a lot of work, and it's very different than anything I've done on TV and film before, but, I fell in love with the role. I fell in love with the people on the set, so it works.
Right. Now, what have you learned from being on a soap? It's, as far as it being fast-paced and tons of lines, I'm sure, to learn.
Absolutely. I mean, I think as I've seen a lot of my favorite actors and people I looked up to that started in soaps, it's an absolute boot camp. It's something you can only learn working on an actual set like this. It's fast-moving and as tedious of the amount of pages we shoot every day. You get that muscle in your brain. Just like going to the gym, you just get stronger and stronger, and it's just helped me across the board more so than any class or anything I've done my entire life as an actor to help my craft. Working on the show in just the past 2 months is like, it's been a world of difference, so it's a really good learning experience.
It is, and it's going to carry you through the rest of your career because, once, and I've heard this from many of the soap actors, once they get a part on a primetime show or in a movie or something, they get almost like anxious, like, why is this taking so long? You're used to filming, 10,000 scenes in a day, and then you go on to one of those and you're doing one scene in, a week. Exactly.
No, you're totally right. It gives you a world of time to prepare and get where you need to be and have multiple takes. We don't have any of that time. I trust in my work. I study my lines, know my relationships, have my meanings behind it, and just stick within the moment because that's all we can really do.
Right. Now, do you practice your scenes with whoever you're working with for the day?
Yeah, what we'll usually do is we'll have a dry rehearsal in the morning for each of our scenes with the director, and then, we'll find our time throughout our day because we all have other stories going on within our show, so it's hard to nab down each of us if we all have busy days to run our lines and run our scenes at more times than we'd like. So until we get out there to the set and we actually walk it through with blocking, it gets a little tough. You really got to know your work and trust in your work and really stay within the moment because you may only get one take sometimes.
So true.
If you get more than that, you're really lucky. So it's a fast-paced industry for the soaps.
Have you met everybody that works on All My Children as far as the other actors, or have you only met a few that you've worked with so far?
I met everybody. I mean, we've been together quite a bit, and myself, I work every single day. So I really don't have any days off as one of the leads on the show, myself and quite a few others. We work a lot, so we've definitely gotten to meet everybody.
Oh, that's good because it helps when you do have to work with somebody. That way you already know who they are and how they work.
Exactly, yeah. It's been a huge help.
David, you had a question?
Yes. Who has been your biggest supporter since you started?
My biggest supporter since I started, my mom, hands down. She's the one who, I'm an only child, and it's really tough for her to see me, go out to L.A. and really be so far away and not really knowing when I was going to come back on other than, holidays and things like that. Once you get going over there, it's kind of hard to break out. So she supported me from day one. So it's been really, 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 a blessing to have her.
Does she watch soaps in general?
Oh yeah, we grew up watching soaps. I mean, my grandmother helped raise me, and I watched Little All My Children, watched a lot of Bold and the Beautiful and Young and the Restless and shows like that. So I had no idea. I ended up working on one for one of my first leads in a series, but it's been awesome. So my mom, she's really, really thrilled to be, watching one of these shows now.
And it was a blessing for her, too, because you're more closer to home now with being on All My Children.
Yeah, it was great. She actually, speaking of my mom, she just got married this past weekend, so I just got back from Boston.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Rob.
Thank you. She just got back. Well, excuse me, I just got back last night from Boston on a train to Stanford. like 2 in the morning last night, and then we had a location shoot this morning at 7, so I'm still kind of feeling it.